What it do, YouTube? I am Tony Bug, the eBoy Zombie Slayer. Today, we're going to react to one of my favorite things to react to, and that would be alien abduction stories. Sorry if you weren't catching me on mic earlier there. You know me, I stay adjusting my shit. Especially because I got some food. Here, you already know my important socials are at v0gu3.gq. You can find me on Twitter, v0ny, v0g. Without further ado, let's get into the 10 creepiest real-life aliens
We want
from
to
Watchmojo.
believe. Welcome to Watchmojo.com, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 alien abduction stories. Before we begin, we publish new videos every day, so be sure to subscribe for more great content. For this list, we're looking at some of the most infamous and fantastic tales from around the world concerning alien abduction. For the record, we're not commenting on the validity of these stories one way or the other, but rather celebrating these wild, wondrous, and sometimes weird accounts of extraterrestrial contact. Number 10, the A-70 incident. Gary Wood and his friend Colin Wright were out driving around 10 p.m. on August 17, 1992, when they noticed an unidentified black object in the sky and a bright wall of light in front
An
of them.
unidentified
After
black
driving towards
object.
the
I can
light,
do
the
so
two
much
men were
with that.
able to find their car facing in the opposite direction, having suddenly lost an hour according to the clock in the car. Wood and Wright would later claim under hypnotic suggestion that the drive towards the light gave them shocking pain, and that aliens brought them onto their ship for a mysterious exam.
Wait a second there.
Drive towards the light gave them shocking pain, and that aliens brought them onto their
Why
ship
was they in
for a
pain, though?
mysterious examination.
Comment below if you have any idea why
John Day
they'd be in
family
pain.
abduction. On a seemingly normal evening in 1974, John Day and his family were returning to their Essex home by car after an outing. Upon arriving, however, Day noticed that the trip had taken hours longer than it should have. Although odd, it wasn't until Day
Yeah, if you've ever seen the X-Files, missing time. That's sign number one, yo, missing time. Check your
his
clocks.
entire family began complaining of nightmares that he would eventually volunteer for a hypnosis session in search of answers. Day, under suggestion, later claimed that he recalled driving into a strange mist, in which a bright light drew the family car upwards into a spaceship.
So
Other than
basically, this
and a
was
few
from a
other fuzzy
movie, and
memories,
that's why
however,
Watchmojo.
Day had absolutely
Gotcha,
no
Watchmojo.
recollection of the missing time. Number 8. Whitley Strieber's Communion. The story behind author Whitley Strieber's encounter with the unknown is the first on our list to receive
Yeah, all of these are
motion picture
movies.
treatment, but it will not be the last. Strieber was arguably best known for his horror classic The Wolfen when he published the much-discussed non-fiction book Communion in 1987. In the book, Strieber describes an experience he had while at his cabin on December 26, 1985.
Yeah, we gotta do a deep dive into that Communion. Whitley
Strieber's
Streamers.
description of losing time, lack of sleep, and repeated dealings with tall, pale, black-eyed beings fit the bill of what most perceive as the archetypal alien appearance, although Strieber prefers to refer to them as simply the visitors. Number 7. The Clayton and Donna Lee abductions. Both members of this Texas couple claim to have been abducted multiple times throughout their lives, with Clayton Lee
Well, they is out in
encounter
Texas.
occurred when he was just a child. To make matters more serious, Donna Lee even claims to have had an unborn fetus stolen from her against her will. The couple states that they live in an atmosphere of constant fear that they'll be abducted again, and have appeared on shows like Fox News' The O'Reilly Factor to describe their experience with these alleged alien invaders.
What I
Well,
saw on
goddamn.
that particular visit, they were tall, slender, blonde, looked human, but not human.
Number 6. The Strange Tales of Mrs. G. Some stories of alien abduction are told by individuals clearly seeking fame, fortune,
Heck
or
yeah.
social attention. This doesn't seem to be so with the anonymous Mrs. G, however, who claims that she was visited by aliens while washing clothes in her backyard. Her story deals with a
This bitch was just out here washing clothes, got visited by aliens. You can't do shit anymore without getting visited by aliens.
brilliant blue light that hovered above her and lifted her up into an alien craft in 1965. She reported encountering 3 strange figures wearing reflective metallic suits. Then, Mrs. G felt as if she was hit sharply on the back of her neck, whereupon she found herself back at home hours later, with laundry still in her basket. Number 5. The Manhattan Transfer Abduction. Linda Cortila Napolitano was living in a New York City high-rise when she claimed to have been visited and abducted by aliens, who whisked her right from an open apartment window in 1980.
I've heard about this one too. We go do a deeper dive.
Surgery of which she had no recollection as proof, offering up a new bump next to her nose as evidence. Her story
sounds like an X-File, don't it?
Was witnessed by 2 bodyguards supposedly working a United Nations security detail. In the aftermath of
all of this sound like an X-Files, the UN security detail, all of that. Sheesh.
The event, both men allegedly suffered psychotic breakdowns. Despite
X-File
scrutiny, Napolitano remained adamant about her story, which included being led inside a clam-shaped UFO filled with oddly shaped metallic furniture. Number 4. The alleyway abduction of Carol and Helen Thomas. It was during their daily walk to work when mother and daughter Carol and Helen Thomas reportedly made contact with extraterrestrials in 1988. The pair stopped walking upon noticing a strange humming sound and bright white light, which left them dizzy and disoriented.
Okay.
Carol and Helen both arrived at work hours late, even though they had no recollection of the missing time. The pair also complained of severe skin conditions, as well as feelings of constant anxiety. Carol and Helen would later state under hypnosis that they were brought onto an alien craft for experiments and had eggs removed from their bodies via an invasive tube stuck into their stomachs.
That's some X-Files shit too? Man, the X-Files was taken off the air because they said too much real shit.
Violence abductions. Many on this list revealed their alien abduction tales while under hypnosis. Military veteran Bob Rylance was another one of these cases, although when Rylance underwent treatment, he discovered it wasn't one specific instance, but rather a series of them that had occurred over the course of his 20-year military service. He claimed that he'd always been sensitive to the paranormal, and after hypnosis, claimed that his abductors would speak to him telepathically during these times, and even used technology to...
Would you want to undergo hypnosis knowing that you might undercover some shit like this player? That you was good without.
Cure undiagnosed diseases within his body. Number 2, A Fire in the Sky. Travis Walton.
This shit was a whole movie. Shut the fuck up.
Was missing for days after he and 6 other men on a logging site spied a mysterious light on their way home.
Looks like the sunset to me.
No, Greg, that's east. Sunset behind us 20 minutes ago.
Walton's co-workers corroborated that the light was in fact an alien ship, which took Walton via some sort of tractor beam. It wasn't until Walton finally appeared, with no idea of how much time had passed, that details began to emerge about his time away. Travis claimed that he was held on the ship, interrogated and experimented on by 3 bald creatures with huge eyes. His experience was so spectacular, it was later dramatized in the frightening 1993 film Fire in the Sky. Before we name our number 1 pick, here are some honorable mentions.
No honorable mentions in this shit.
Number 1, Betty and Barney Hill. In 1961, Betty and Barney Hill noticed a bright moving light in the sky while driving home. The Hills followed the light some distance, eventually stopping to peer at it through binoculars. Barney claimed he saw figures inside a disc-shaped craft.
Yeah, that's where you get the fuck out.
And drove away. Unbeknownst to them, the Hills had lost 2 hours, arriving home to find their shoes stuffed and their wristwatches broken.
Missing time.
Later claimed vivid dreams about being taken on board the ship and being experimented on by 2 mysterious beings that spoke difficult broken English. What's more, Betty was even able to draw a crude star map of a distant and little-known system.
Do you agree with our picks? Check out these other great clips from Watchmojo and
oh shit, I think I'm missing time playing YouTube. That was some shit. That was indeed some shit. The creepiest real-life alien abduction story.
Oh my god.
With your boy Tony Vogue. I'll catch you next time.